Hey guys, what's going on? So, dropping shit. Second video episode, and we've already moved shit around.
Yeah, I think you're doing a good job on getting this figured out. We're a little more evenly spaced, and I like the background.
You don't like being this
we
close?
we don't have to cuddle while we do the episode no more. So
I like it.
that's good. That's good. That's good.
It's coming along. I'm pretty excited. Today we got Rainn Wilson talking about some super.
Yeah,
It's,
James Gunn.
James Gunn.
Correct. 2010. This was right. There was like three movies that came out really close to one another. There was Kick-Ass was the big one that everyone probably seen. That one was in 2010. And then Defendor with Woody Harrelson in 2009, and then Super in 2010.
Jesus.
That all had like this really similar. If a superhero was in the real world, how would it be done? And this is how they would make costumes, and this is how it would work. Interesting that you had three films all that close to one another that all tackled, in different ways, they tackled the same subject as well, too.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Kick-Ass. I really like Kick-Ass.
I think Kick-Ass is probably the best of the three. It's also probably got the highest budget as well, too.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Super, I looked it up, was only $2.5 million
Jesus
for
Christ.
the budget for this one, so it was probably made for a lot less.
We could do that.
than what I know.
Holy cow.
And then, I don't know, what did you think of Defendor? Did you ever watch that? 'Cause I wasn't a fan. I don't remember anything other than I didn't like it.
Yeah, I remember. I just wanted to see it because of Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson, yeah.
And so, yeah, I enjoyed all of these actually. But like Kick-Ass, I saw Kick-Ass right away. Nick Cage, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
He's good.
Johnson is my fan cast for Nightwing.
Oh,
Everybody's
see,
talking
that's
about
awesome.
Nightwing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think he'd be perfect. Like he's got the look. He's kind of done superhero stuff before. I think he'd slide right into Nightwing.
Yeah, because he was Quicksilver in the Marvel
yeah.
Avengers stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't really like Quicksilver in the Marvel. I like the Fox version better, but it wasn't his fault. They didn't give him shit to
Well,
work
they were
with.
both in Kick-Ass. Evan Peters,
Oh, you're right. Evan Peters was in Kick-Ass.
yeah,
God damn, you're right. That's cool. What a small world.
right?
Yeah.
They're all connected. So yeah,
It is.
but like I remember seeing Kick-Ass, and I wanted to see Defender because of Woody Harrelson, and I had this conversation with you because this is one that you wanted to do.
Yep.
And I was like, I was a little on the fence because I'm not a huge Rainn Wilson fan,
Okay.
and so I think that always kind of deterred me a little bit. Like everybody loves The Office, and it's good. It's just not. I don't care for Rainn Wilson usually.
Sure. Yep.
And but you have your experience you want to talk about because mine's kind of the same.
Gotcha. I'm on the opposite side of the fence with Rainn Wilson. He's one of my guilty pleasure actors. I really enjoy him in The Office and everything else he's done. So I love him in Super. He's so good in this film.
Yeah.
And then just going back to House of a Thousand Corpses, he was in that one.
All right.
Way back when he gets part of his head chopped off, and then they turn him into the fish boy, where they mount him. Like that was Rainn Wilson.
With fat Chris Hardwick. And
yeah. Yep.
Fat Hardwick.
That's a good movie that we should go back and,
That'd be fun.
Talk about.
We'll have to. That's one of those ones we'll have to get Brian for because he's like obsessed with those.
Awesome.
He did Devil's Rejects. With me, so
Okay. Yep.
he really likes those. We'll have to get him on here and do that.
Yeah. As for Super, I don't remember exactly when I first. Probably shortly after it came out. I think on DVD. Because I think I got it at Family Video over in Fort Dodge.
Oh,
So
really?
whatever the span is from the theater release to
Couple.
about 6
6
months
months,
to
probably?
a year or so by the time it comes up.
I'd say like 6. Family Video. I'd say like 6 months.
Yeah.
Those things come out fast.
But anyway, that was the first time I seen it, and I really liked it. I thought it was a different take on the superhero genre because even by 2010 we had seen a lot of films, and I thought that this was a fun twist on it, and it had the R rating attached to it. Before Deadpool. Deadpool gets labeled as the first R-rated superhero movie. Well, Super had it, and Blade had it before that, so I don't A lot of those narratives are wrong. Have you noticed that? Where they're like, this
It's-
movie is the first R-rated superhero movie. Well, not
And I mean, that's
not really.
I don't want to get too far into it right now, but like that's the stigma that Marvel kind of has. They're like, oh, the pioneers in this and did this and did this. It's like, what about all this other
Stuff
work that's been done?
Correct.
But that's just kind of like, you know, kids younger than us, they're growing up with the MCU, so this is their experience with everything. Like,
yeah.
they need to go back and watch some of that older stuff.
Sure.
And I mean, I don't know. That's
what was remember the Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie that came out back
right.
that was R-rated.
89, the same year as Batman, right?
I think so. Did that have an R rating attached to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, really, R-rated superhero films are not anything new. It's the first time we're seeing a couple of them, like Deadpool and Logan, do so well and have a massive budget attached to them, like a big studio film.
Yeah, you know, this
like
has
I said,
$2.5 million.
2.5 million, James Gunn, before he was Guardians of the Galaxy fucking James Gunn.
He was, what the fuck's that,
Slither.
That's Gunn, right?
Yeah, that's James Gunn.
Okay, because there's some of that in this movie, I thought.
Yeah,
you can tentacles. It's kind of almost slithery.
He's a cool director because he's got his style that shows up in all of his films. Where I feel like, oh, that's a James Gunn movie. You can tell by watching it.
Yeah,
I think that this falls in those lines as well too.
Yeah.
What do you think? Because I kind of made you watch this.
No,
I'm curious if you liked it or what you thought of it.
Yeah, I actually it was not what I expected. I kind of knew it was like with the Kick-Ass and the Defender, like it was kind of in that group. But like I said, with like Rainn Wilson, but this kind of forced me. I sat down, I watched it, and I like Rainn Wilson in this. Like,
yeah.
It was like
Shut up, crime.
Yeah, it was a very like a real performance. Like you really felt for the guy, and it felt very like he was kind of channeling like maybe some childhood trauma or something. Like
definitely,
maybe he got picked on a lot as a kid or something. I don't know. I mean, he was probably the cool jock. I don't know.
I think he was played up as like a very kind of repressed.
Yeah, it just
he hasn't accomplished anything.
It felt very real.
Yeah.
I really felt for him. I liked like him digging down and acting. I think in The Office and stuff like that, it's more building this ridiculous character that is completely unbelievable.
Yeah.
I relate. It's Dwight, right?
Yes.
I relate Dwight a lot to like Jim Parsons and Big Bang Theory. What's his?
See, I've never watched Big Bang Theory.
But you know what I mean, like the really weird, tall, nerdy. What is his name? Sheldon.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I relate kind of like Dwight and Sheldon. Like they're just acting out these ridiculous characters that would never exist, and it's just almost kind of annoying. And,
I follow you. The Office is very...
But I love John Krasinski. So I'm like torn.
Did you know that he auditioned for Captain America?
Yeah, he was almost Captain.
Yeah.
He's fucking cool. I really like him.
I think that in this next phase, like post-Infinity War, Infinity Gauntlet, when they have to bring in new actors to play whatever, maybe we have a new Captain America or whatever. I think it would be fun if he lands some role in the Marvel Universe because he's good.
Yeah.
He's funny. He's got some action film.
I would take him.
Coming out. What was he?
Well, he's going to
be. Is it Jack Reacher?
He's in Jack Ryan on Amazon.
Jack Ryan, gotcha. Because I seen the commercial for it during the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
Yep. I think it comes out next month on Amazon.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for that. But another. Like, if we're going to tie him to a superhero, I would take him as my Hal Jordan.
See, I was thinking that, too. I think he would be a fun Hal Jordan. I had thought, if we could go back when we were doing our fantasy episode. Like, I didn't think of him at the time, but after I read that he auditioned for Captain America...
You're like, duh.
Duh, and it was a funny story where he's like, I've seen Chris Hemsworth walk by with, like... jacked Chris Hemsworth with the hair and everything, and he's like, I just unzipped the suit and was like, nope, I am not in the same league.
But it's funny because I mean now he's a big guy.
Yeah.
He did 13 Hours, Secret Soldiers of Benghazi or whatever. He's pretty jacked in
I
that.
haven't seen that one yet.
And I mean, for Jack Ryan, I'm sure he'll be in pretty good shape. Like he can do it. I think it was at the wrong time. Like he didn't have enough time to get prepared or something. But I love John Krasinski.
I do too.
But back to Super.
Tangent. We like our tangents here at the show.
But like, so I sat down and watched it, and it felt very real and everything. And I love Kevin Bacon. I love Juno.
Ellen Page. Yeah.
There's a whole. I wrote down a list of all these people.
Ooh.
Like there's Kevin Bacon, James Gunn's brother, Sean Gunn. He's the Mohawk, goofy-looking guy.
I didn't know that.
In everything.
Cool.
I wrote down Velma, the pet store.
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion, of course.
Yep.
And then I'm really excited about this. Greg Henry, the cop. I fucking love him, and it's because of a movie called Payback with Mel Gibson.
Okay.
He's a bad guy on that. And ever since I saw Payback, I'm like, that dude's really good. Why doesn't he get more work? And you kind of like see him vaguely, and like in this, he's a cop for 10 minutes. And then in the very beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy, he's the dad for 10 minutes. Or the grandpa, I guess.
That's a good poll.
I love Greg Henry. Like, when we are going to watch Payback.
Okay.
Because...
You've talked me into it.
Mel Gibson is completely badass, and that in his name, he only goes by Porter.
Mm-hmm.
And so, growing up, I'm like, tell him it's Porter.
Mm-hmm.
I want my $70,000. I love that. But yeah, Greg Henry is like a cheap dirtbag. He gets like beat up by Lucy Liu, and he's... I love him.
Yeah.
And I wish he would get more work. So as soon as I saw him in this, I'm like, well, my levels just went up by like 10.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, between Rainn Wilson's performance and actually watching it, and seeing all these people I like, and it drew me in. I like it.
Yeah. I liked how fucking crazy the film is, with just like...
It's...
over the top.
Some weird shit going on.
There's some weird shit going on throughout the whole film. Just people getting blown up or shot in the face with shotguns, and like Rainn Wilson with a fucking pipe wrench.
Oh my god.
Just cracking that guy who butts in line.
Yeah, I wrote
and he's
that
like,
down.
no butting, and he takes the fucking pipe wrench and just whacks him with it.
Right. Yeah, as soon as he's like, I need a weapon, like, and then he goes to the comic book store and stuff, and he's looking for like heroes without superpowers and stuff.
Batman.
Yeah, there's Iron Man, and then what's the other one she picks? It's like Captain America. He uses a shield. No. He's a super soldier. But like it's funny that he's like doing research to find a weapon.
Yeah,
he picks a fucking pipe wrench.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like he was in Clue.
I liked his name. Did you like Crimson Bolt?
Bolt.
I thought Crimson Bolt is legitimately kind of a good superhero name.
Too many syllables.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah,
I thought Crimson Bolt was cool.
I guess like Superman, but Crimson Bolt is pretty cool. It makes me think of like Flash or something, though. Mm-hmm. Not of Rainn Wilson with a pipe wrench.
His suit... I like Justice League. We watched Justice League. I liked it. But his suit in Super is kind of like a low-budget version of Flash's costume.
Or it's just bits and pieces.
Or it's just like bits and pieces of shit. Like, it looks like if Justice League had no money, this is what this is what Flash would have looked like.
Right.
I thought that was unintentionally kind of funny to go back and watch.
Yeah, this took a lot of weird turns. Like, with the pipe wrench and stuff, it's like very real. It's like, yeah, you could do some fucking damage with that. But then it takes turns with, like, he makes pipe bombs and stuff. Yeah. Which is, I mean, it's impossible, but just, like, how he throws them and they explode and these people just fly in, like, mists. Like, it's over the top.
That's
ridiculous.
Cool. I like that. That's
Ellen
cool.
Page gets shot in the face and half her face comes off.
How about that? That was unexpected. When they roll her over, and that was a cool prosthetic. It must have been a dummy or something. Where you see her whole side of her face is just, like, gone.
I was not prepared for that.
Yeah.
Another thing, real quick, my first time watching it, I did not realize that it was a R. And so
your kids weren't in the room.
I started watching Super, and I was sitting there with my 2-year-old. She's almost 3.
Uh-huh.
And I had my 1-year-old in my lap, and I started watching it. And then about 10 minutes in, I'm like, I should probably wait to watch this. I just thought it was something silly and like almost like a comedy.
Sure.
And it was a lot more straight down and dirty than I realized.
Well, I mean, it's a comedy, but it's a dark comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, what Rainn Wilson's character is like basically gone insane, and like the shit that he's doing is not at all like a positive. Like he's not being a good guy. He's like fucking shooting people point blank and like busting people with pipe wrenches and shit.
Bad
like,
people.
But still, the guy who butt in line, he's like fucking.
Don't fucking butt. I'm on Crimson Bolt's side.
Oh man,
you don't butt.
He clearly has snapped.
You didn't have to like give him an anaphylactic shock when you hit him in the head, but maybe just like a little, chip his shoulder a little bit.
Well, he didn't. He was like right between the eyes, like pegged that dude.
And then he smacked his girlfriend in the cheek.
Yeah.
She's probably got a busted jaw and shit now, too.
Did you like the part where they were in, we should do favorite scenes, too, but did you like his car? I like the way, like, Batman has the Batmobile, and, like, Wonder Woman has the jet, or whatever she has, and, like, he's just got this old, beat-up fucking...
It's like an Impala or something.
I don't know, like little, like, two-door Chevy or...
Like a little Pinto.
yeah, and, like, they ram that guy into the wall, and the fucking car won't start.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either.
I thought that was great, that the car wouldn't start, and they're trying to get away, and everyone's got, like, cell phone cameras and shit.
And she's leaning out the window. Yeah, fuck you! Suck it, bitch!
Ellen Page, I wrote down I'm not a big Ellen Page fan, but I really liked her in this movie. I thought this was a good performance. She was very, like, it
was different than what she normally does.
It fit. She was very, like, wound up and energetic, and I liked that.
It was, it was different than a lot of the other stuff she does. A lot of the time she's more, I mean, she's kind of quiet and weird in this, but she lets the other side through.
Sure.
And a lot of the time, she's just kind of really dry, sarcastic. I mean, it's funny. She does great, but this was definitely a different side, for sure.
Yeah.
And, I liked it.
What was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene? I really like the end when they're storming Kevin Bacon's place.
Yeah,
I really like when they drive into the dude's legs. For, I think, just pure shock and, like, what the fuck value, I'll pick my favorite scene as when she's trying to hump him.
Oh, when they try to...
I mean, that's a long scene, and it is so weird.
Kind of awkward.
Super awkward. And, but I was, like, watching it the whole time, like, what the hell is going on? But it's weird.
Yeah.
And it's like, it kind of makes you cringe a little bit, and you feel kind of bad for her, oh man, it was awkward. And then she's like, do I look good in my suit? And he's like, what are you doing? Like, that's where he let Dwight come through. When he came out, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yep.
Fact. Did you know? I don't know.
That was an awkward moment. I thought that was a really funny scene.
It was probably like 5 or 10 minutes, right?
It held.
And holy shit.
It held a lot longer than what a normal film would. Right. A normal film would do that setup and that punchline, and then it would fade out to like awkward encounter the next morning. But this one held on it. It held on that moment. I'm
gonna say that just because the end is cool. I like when they're raiding Kevin Bacon and stuff, and I like a lot of the gore and a lot of him like fighting and stuff, but just stuck me to the screen. I was like, I haven't seen this before. Like, I've seen people get blown up, I've seen people get shot, but this, I was like, what did Kyle make me watch? The whole what about you?
I was a big fan of, it was one of the first times that he gets in costume, and he's like, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna fight crime. And there's that amazing scene behind the dumpster, where he shows up with like his little voice recorder, and he's like talking about how he's gonna fight. He's like, night 1. And he's in like this awesome, like ready to pounce position, and he's just like waiting, and then like nothing happens. And it cuts back to him, and he's just like chilling out. He's like bored, he's like been here all night.
Right.
And he's like still talking into it. he thinks he hears something. And so, like, the way it's like a great physical gag where he gets up and he, like, goes to run off camera and he does this amazing, like, look one way, look the other way, and then, like, he takes off and the camera just stays in the same spot.
Right.
And it just sits here on nothing. And he comes back and he's, like, all deflated. And he grabs his voice recorder and he's like, it was nothing. It was just a box floating around.
Right.
And then he sets it down and he picks it back up and he's like, I'll get the box later.
I'll get it later. Like, I'll pick it up.
I'll get it later. I just really love the fact that... Oh, and there's a line in there where he's like... It's like day 2. And he's like, I've seen some kids the night before, they didn't do anything, but maybe they were planning something for tonight. Like, I just love the idea that he wants to fight crime.
They look suspicious.
He wants to fight crime, but there's absolutely nothing going on.
It's like if we went outside.
Which is what would happen 9 times out of 10, I would think, when Batman would go out to fight crime, where there would just be nothing. Like, what are the chances of you being in the area? Well, I guess they call it fucking Crime Alley. Mm-hmm. For a reason. But what would be nothing would happen. Like, that would be real. You would just sit there, bored on your ass.
That's what we would do here.
Yeah.
We go outside and we hear... Oh, nobody's there. I mean, after 9 o'clock, the roads are closed down.
Yeah.
It's scary. You go out here at 10 o'clock, you go outside, and, I don't know what that was.
Firecracker.
Never you mind what that was.
That was crime. Shut up, crime.
But yeah, it's weird. You go outside at like 10 o'clock here and there's like, it's like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing going on. It's silent.
It's fun in the summertime to go out for a walk here in town. Or like right in early fall time where it feels like you're walking in like a fucking John Carpenter film.
Right, and it's all foggy.
There was one night, like we don't get like a lot of like church bells or whatever, but I was out for a walk one night and there was just like church bells off in the distance for some reason. And it was just unintentionally creepy. I was like, it's like I'm walking in a fucking John Carpenter film right now. That's the town we live in.
Real quick, this is off subject, but one night had just got our license. We were out at my friend's pickup and doing some things you're probably not supposed to do. We ended up in the ditch. We're out in the middle, in the country in Iowa. Mm-hmm. And we keep hearing the screaming. And we're just like freaking out. We're sitting in the cab and we have the doors locked. And we're like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And then finally somebody came to pull us out. And we're like, do you hear that screaming? And he's like, yeah. What the fuck is that? Who's screaming? He's like, there's a hog farm down there.
Oh.
It was all the hogs. It's like Iowa. Welcome to Iowa.
Of course.
That's a fun little story. But back to Super. This had a lot of like, not really one-liners, but a lot of quotes that I wrote down. Just because like you're talking about like with Rainn Wilson's character being like depressed and like losing his mind. He says a lot of like kind of dark shit, but I related to it a lot. Which is weird. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, go Rainn Wilson.
Like one of the things, I think he's talking to Ellen Page and she was talking about you need to be happy more or something. He's like, happy people are kind of arrogant with their happiness. I was like, yeah, they are. I don't know.
He's not wrong.
And then the other one I wrote down was, that's how you get cancer, from burnt burgers. It's funny because I worked as a cook for so long, and it's like, quit burning shit. I don't know. I thought those two quotes are funny, but especially the happy people are kind of arrogant, because you are. Quit being so happy. Mm-hmm. The world's not that great.
No, it is not a Beatles song all of the time, people. You've mentioned Nathan Fillion. I wrote down that I really found him... I find him funny in everything that he does. Yeah. He's fucking Nathan Fillion. But Holy Avenger...
Oh my god, with the boy and the girl?
Yeah.
Oh my god, those are great.
Oh my gosh.
The little public service announcement deals.
Yeah, could we get more of that?
Yeah, for real though. Like, can we actually have Nathan Fillion come to our schools and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did Spider-Man Homecoming?
Who directed it?
Yeah, was that? The only reason I bring that up is because the scenes with Nathan Fillion and the Holy Avenger remind me of those little short clips in Spider-Man with Captain America, where he's doing the at
Right.
your gym class
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that cheesy.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if they were inspired at all by this film.
Maybe, yeah, who knows?
Because it seems kind of very sort of similar, executed a little different, but similar concept to him.
Yeah, I mean, like, at the same time, like, what was it? Captain America the First Avenger? Which, real quick, Captain America the First Avenger is probably my favorite Marvel movie.
Ooh, interesting choice.
Especially, like, in the first wave, when it was Iron Man, Thor, Captain America.
It blew the shit out of Thor.
I fucking love Captain America the First Avenger. I love the era, I love all that stuff. But, in that, they have a lot of those cheesy, like, and that's how you can help. I think that's just like a Captain America thing.
Sure.
You want to pop old Hitler on the chin?
Yes.
I just feel like I think that was more of a Captain America. What year was America was 2011. This was 2010.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something there.
I don't know.
But that's in the comics.
But I mean, Captain
too.
America in the comics has
Yeah,
always
he does
been
that
kind of very
shit, too.
cheesy, like pro
Yeah.
America, like whatever kind of thing.
Duh.
Yeah.
America, dude.
Yeah. It's interesting. We'll talk about Marvel film for a minute since we're on the subject. And then when the initial wave of Marvel films came out, I definitely agree. I thought that the Thor film was totally just, we have to introduce Thor to people who don't know who Thor is so that we can do an Avengers film.
I was really upset because I wanted him to be a drunk.
Yeah.
He never drinks beer.
Yeah, well, he drinks it, but it just don't do anything to him.
When's he? Oh, right, in
he
the
drinks
bar,
like on Asgard where they have like the big mugs.
It's not
of
the
beer.
same.
But I thought that the Captain America First Avenger was an actual film.
Yeah.
Like, it stands on its own without being connected to the rest of although it is cool that it's connected, but it works as its own film. That Thor movie was totally just, we have to introduce Thor for the Avengers.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Captain America is so, I mean, you're dealing with like a period piece, you're dealing with a superhero film, you're dealing with a war film. It's the whole package. It's very similar to Wonder Woman.
Yep.
Which is probably why I like it
I
so
thought
much.
Winter Soldier was probably my favorite.
Yeah, Winter Soldier is really good too. That's like Jack Ryan and superheroes and espionage.
I was I'm probably the only person who's going to make this statement. I was a little disappointed that the third Captain America film got shoehorned into Civil War, because I really like the character. I like Chris Evans, and I think that I would have liked another, quote, smaller film.
I would have liked a Captain America movie.
Like a Captain America movie. Like, Civil War is great. Just do a movie and call it Civil War.
Should have been Avengers Civil War.
Avengers Civil War. You don't need to be... Why was that the third Captain... I get it based on his storyline, but at the same time...
Silly. I don't...
It should have been... It should have been Avengers 3 Civil War.
I'll just piss off all those happy, arrogant people if we go off on this tangent. So
yeah.
Let's whip it back around to Super so I don't get yelled at.
Getting yelled at online by strangers is fun, Jeff.
I already get yelled at enough at home.
You know?
Love you, babe. I wrote down tentacle porn. What was I talking about? Wasn't there actually like tentacle porn?
Yeah.
Okay, and then and then like the slither things come in and
that was
what the fuck?
Oh, the whole scene where he was like touched by the hand of God.
Yes, what the fuck was that?
It's trippy, very trippy.
And then they saw off his head, and then the what the fuck?
Yeah, I watched this movie like a month ago, so I'm a little. I kind of momentarily forgot about that part. But yeah, that was a weird fucking moment.
Yeah, I thought I was watching, like, Half-Baked or something. Like, what the hell did you make me watch?
That is the part of this film where you're either on board with it,
right, or it's way
or
out.
You're like, this is just...
too far.
This has lost me, and I'm gone. You just have to watch that and be like, they are trying to be weird. Like, they are intentionally going for weird shit in this moment.
Tentacle porn. Yeah, that was so strange. I read The Hand of God. God was Rob Zombie.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Why?
I don't, because he's cool? I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course.
I don't know. That'd be cool. Wasn't, no, maybe not. Was Rob Zombie in Guardians of the Galaxy? As, like, somebody, I wonder?
Trauma guy, Lloyd Kaufman, was in Guardians of the Galaxy. He had a cameo in the prison scene. Was Rob Zombie in it? I don't know. I would have to look.
Nathan Fillion was in the prison scene.
Yeah.
But I feel like, how awesome would that be? Like, if James Gunn and Rob Zombie did something together.
He voiced something in the Marvel Universe.
Did he?
Rob Zombie did.
There's gotta be something, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you got something you want to talk about? I'm going to IMDb.
Yeah, IMDb that. And let me see. Let me pull my notes up here. I want to talk about the end fight scene for a moment, because that was my other, like, backup, depending on what you picked for the best scene in the film. I like the way it kind of played on the old Adam West Batman TV show, where when he was, like, throwing the pipe bombs and shit, where you seen the kapow text.
Right.
Pull up on,
yeah, that was weird, too.
I like that, though.
I like it, but it's like, if you're going to do that, do it from the beginning. Don't just throw it in there at the end.
Whatever. This movie's kind of just throw shit in and
everybody
see what
gets...
come up with.
James Gunn gets a pass.
James Gunn does get a pass, ladies and gentlemen. I really like that, and I really like the way Kevin Bacon was so adamant on, he's just a fucking guy. Like, just kill him. He's just a fucking guy. What is the problem here?
Yeah.
And everyone was, like, terrified of him at that point.
Right.
And I thought that was really funny, that I just love that dynamic. And then,
I really like Kevin Bacon as a bad guy.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon was great in the film.
He's been a bad guy a couple of times. And every time that I see him as a bad guy, I like him more.
Yeah.
Even back in, like, Hollow Man.
He's kind of got that look.
You like
you're
Hollow
like,
Man?
I do like Hollow Man.
I like Hollow Man. I want to talk about Hollow Man.
I like Hollow Man. I own Hollow Man on fucking PSP.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know why.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon is a good bad guy.
Yeah, he is.
And I like him in this as a bad guy.
Michael Rooker from Walking Dead.
What?
Michael Rourke. Rooker from Walking Dead. Merle. Merle from Walking Dead is in...
Rooker?
Rooker.
Michael Rooker.
Rooker.
Merle
from Walking Dead.
It's like you combine Michael Rourke with...
Mickey
God
Rourke.
damn it. No,
See,
you're doing it.
You're doing it too. Fuck you,
You combine Mickey Rourke and Michael Rooker.
Anyway...
That's a scary man.
Yeah, no shit. No shit. Just Rainn Wilson just beating his head into the ground relentlessly in the end fight scene was pretty brutal. You see his eye like fucking like twitch upward and shit.
That was fucked up.
It's brutal.
I wonder how they did that too, because that seemed fucking like honest. Like what would? It wasn't like that's it's so weird.
It's pretty over the top.
They'll blow people up and they'll do all this other shit. It'll be completely over the top. But that time, when he's like banging his head against the ground, it felt like very like fucking
real.
You're
like, this is kind of disturbing.
Yeah, it's like, am I watching a snuff film?
There are points in this film where you're like, that's kind of creepy.
Yes,
I think that's what they were going for.
I don't know. They
were going for that realism in
what
in places they were going. They were going for realism. Yeah, I know, right?
Because one moment they'll go pow, kick, pow, king, ka, and then the next time they're like murdering somebody, like fucking for real. Yeah. Oh, it's strange. I'm definitely gonna watch it again though. Yeah. I have to watch it again because like the first time I was so dumbfounded. I was sitting there trying to take notes and I was like, tentacle porn. Wait, what? Yeah, that's what I'm watching. Ellen Page rapes... What? Yeah, that's what I'm watching. Yeah. I was like... like I said, I had no idea whatsoever what I was getting myself into. And it was a strange ride. But it was good. I enjoyed it. I'll have to watch it again.
Yeah.
This time, like, knowing what's going to happen. And by the way, it pisses me off if he doesn't get the fucking chick. What the fuck?
Well...
You always get the girl. You kill people, you save her, you take her back, you bang, and you guys are together.
No.
Yeah, what do you say? She stayed for a couple months, and then she went off with another dude, had a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
And they write him and call him Uncle whatever. That pisses me off more than if she had just stayed with the fucking drug dealer. Whatever.
I like it because it's different.
It is. It's fucking frustrating, and I like it. If you're gonna be a bitch, just go with Kevin Bacon and be a fucking druggie. I don't care. Don't come back to me after I save your ass and Ellen Page dies. Mm-hmm. Ellen Page died for nothing then. Oh, I guess he said because now those 4 little faces. Fuck that. It pisses me off. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Do you like Liv Tyler in this role? There was no animal crackers.
Liv Tyler is good. She does well and everything. I feel like an asshole. Her fucking voice is so annoying. It's so high and whiny.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm glad she went with Kevin Bacon. Like, yeah, fine, go get your fucking.
You'd be happy.
Get your fucking annoying
You'd be
ass
happy.
out of here.
You'd be like, yeah.
No, but like I really like her, and she's great in like Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. I thought they were great together. I really like Lord of the Rings. She's great. Yeah. And I liked her in this role. Like I said, she does really good. The only thing that I can't stand is her fucking voice.
And animal crackers.
That's my favorite scene.
Anytime you get Liv Tyler and an animal cracker in a scene together, nothing good will come from it.
If I ever make a film, I'm going to...
You're going to
have Liv Tyler.
You're going to have an animal cracker scene in your
film?
Be
like, hey, just for shits and giggles, why don't you play with animal crackers on my tum-tum?
That wouldn't be awkward or anything, Jeff.
There'd be like a nice little trail of hair that they can ramble on. It could be like a little brush. Whatever, we're getting weird. No, like fuck you. This is a weird fucking movie, so this is a weird episode.
Weird fucking tentacles will be coming out and all kinds of shit. You just don't know.
Yeah. I like, the whole, like, hero story. Like, what makes a superhero?
Sure.
Do you remember what it was? What they said?
Oh, I don't remember the exact line from it. Do you have it wrote down?
It was,
like the decision? Are you talking about?
Yeah, the choice to fight evil.
Yeah.
And that's a superhero.
Which is really cool. That sounds like something that fucking Batman would say.
That's what I had in quotations, Batman.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
I just think that's
fundamentally a good explanation for why a comic book character would do what they do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just a choice to fight evil. You're a superhero.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that line. I wrote it down and everything. Oh, I wrote down right under that, wheelchair lady.
Wheelchair lady. Who was wheelchair lady? What was wheelchair lady?
She got knocked over. It was during the scene when he's like beating up the drug dealer. He beat up the drug dealer. The fucking child rapist.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that reminds me of another movie that we need to talk about.
Speaking of child rapists, that reminds me of a funny antidote.
Another movie that I want to do is Harry Brown. It's a Michael Caine movie.
I haven't heard of that one.
He's like an ex-Marine. His wife dies. He's just living a quiet life in an apartment by himself. Mm-hmm. And it takes place, I want to say, in, I think, somewhere in England. And he lives in this apartment complex, and there's like these kids are really big in drugs and dealing and stuff, and there's like this guy that kind of like controls all the kids, like picks up the money and does all that stuff, and he'll take a kid that's just one of them, I think, like he has a particular taste. Takes the kid, he'll take him in his car, and he unzips his pants, and you actually like see like his head going up.
Oh,
and but holy shit, that movie though, like that's dark and fucked up, but Michael Caine is like the Punisher in that movie. Like
shit.
He finds out about all that stuff and he goes and he starts fucking murdering these drug dealers and shit. Fucking good.
When did that come out?
It's like 2005?
Huh.
Or it might 2006. I think it was like the year after Batman Begins.
Okay.
Harry Brown.
So Batman Begins was 2005, so it would have had to have been...
Probably must have been 6.
2006.
Yeah, a lot of people never even heard of it. I think I saw it on like a trailer, and I was like, "Holy shit, Michael Caine killing people!" Yeah,
I'd never heard of it.
Harry Brown. I really want to watch that one. That's a great movie. I want more people to see.
Yeah, that sounds like an interesting kind of.
It's very graphic, hardcore. It's almost hard to watch,
mm-hmm.
But Michael Caine.
Well, with that subject matter, it should be a little difficult to watch.
Right. But Michael Caine's like the Punisher. We'll have to watch that sometime.
That's cool. I'm almost having a hard time picturing him. Doing that, but I know that he's such a phenomenal actor that he could probably pull anything off. So.
It's good. Yeah. we'll have to. If you guys have seen Harry Brown, like I'll put out the poll.
Okay.
If you know what the fuck Red Scorpion is, and if you know what Harry Brown is, because those are two movies.
Do them against one another. What's the better film?
Harry Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy hell. And it's weird, like you just said, I've never even heard of that. Nobody's heard of this movie.
There's so much stuff.
There's
so much stuff that no one's ever heard of.
Holy shit.
I always say all the time that, like, you could pick a decade. You could pick, like, the 80s. And I want to watch every movie that came out in the 80s. And you could spend the rest of your life and probably not watch everything worth watching in, like, one decade.
Right.
So to just go through all films that you're ever interested in watching, you can fall down such weird and interesting rabbit holes on cinema, on just what to watch, and all this amazing stuff that just gets passed over for whatever reason.
Yeah.
There's just such a volume of content.
I found, we'll go back. I found Rob Zombie he was in Guardians.
Was he?
In Guardians of the Galaxy 2014, he was the voice of a Ravager navigator.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of.
And then in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, he was an unseen Ravager. So he was in it, which is awesome.
That's neat.
Rob Zombie's fucking cool.
I like that.
And I like that James Gunn and him are, like, on the same page, because they could make something really special.
Yeah.
Especially after seeing Super. Like, I always knew James Gunn for, like, his Slither. He had one earlier, before Slither, that I remember, and then Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of knew about Super. I never watched it. And so this was like kind of a different side of Gunn to me. I hadn't seen like this kind of hardcore graphic violence. And
Sure, yeah.
It was...
because Slither, well, it's a horror movie, it's also very kind of tongue-in-cheek.
Mm-hmm. A lot of his movies are like that, though. It's like, how serious can we be while at the same time making fun?
I haven't seen anything or heard of anything.
What's before Slither?
Trauma's Edge TV. That was a 2000 TV series from Trauma. You know, those guys. Yeah. Then just a couple TV short films.
Trauma, really?
Because, well... Yeah, see, just like, they don't even have pictures for
Slither
them.
was the first thing.
Yeah?
And then Super, and movie 43. That's horrible.
What's movie 43?
It's segmented. It has a whole bunch of actors, comedians, and stuff in it doing stupid shorts. That has like Johnny Knoxville and Sean William Scott fighting Gerard Butler as a leprechaun. It's
sounds like you'd have to be high as fuck.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's it can be funny, but it's just kind of over the top. It's like Family Guy jokes that didn't get used.
Ooh, I don't like that kind of... I'm not a fan of that kind of humor, so I think I will...
I love Family Guy.
I do too, but other people trying to do Family Guy humor is not...
Well, I think Seth MacFarlane's in movie 43.
Is he?
I can't remember. There's probably like 9 or 10 shorts in there. I don't know. But Super.
We're all over the place.
This is good, though.
That's okay. That's fun.
Good conversation.
I like being able to talk about a wide range of topics.
Real quick,
Even though I like Super, I don't have a lot to say about it in particular, but this is good stuff.
I like talking about like the tongue-in-cheek and like the seriousness of it. There's this scene where he's sitting in his car and Kevin Bacon and everybody come out and they get in their like Suburban and drive off. It's in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there and he pulls out and he turns the light on. He turns his headlights on like it's like those night shots that you see all the time.
Sure.
And I just thought that was hilarious.
I really liked the part where he's outside his club or drug dealer place or whatever. Don't touch the car. And so he does exactly what I would do. He's a total smartass, and he puts like one finger on it. And
Kevin Bacon knows what I would do. He's like, that's not what I meant.
Yeah. I love that scene. That was good. That was funny.
I like that. What grossed me out was, like, he did basically kidnap her. Because he's, like, force-feeding her drugs and shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
To, like, keep her in a stupor. And they inject it into her foot. And it creeps me out. they like inject the shit between her toes.
You said the word injection, and that just makes my skin crawl. That is not something that I don't like. That
I don't like that.
Makes me uncomfortable.
Like in The Crow. In The Crow, when the girl's mom is shooting up and stuff, and Fun Boy, and they're shooting up heroin, and then the Crow comes in and he's dead, and he puts his arm on her arm, and you can see the hole where like the heroin was.
Yeah,
it went in, and it.
I remember this.
It starts draining out. That's
it no,
creeps me out.
No.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't
shit.
do needles. I don't do shit like that. I can watch almost anything in a film. You show me that close up of someone getting the needle put into their skin, and I will look away every single time.
It depends where it is.
I don't care. Every time I will look away from that shot.
If it's somewhere tender, like the top of my foot, then yeah. But like when I was in college, I did plasma, so I donate plasma 2 times a week, and I donated blood, and I did all that stuff. So like in the arm, shoulder, stuff like that don't bother me. But like if it's in like my foot or like the back of my knee, or, like in your knee, like that shit is too much for me.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't like that stuff.
Like those athletes that get those like fucking shots in their knees. And
shit.
I
almost had to get one of those not hydrocortisone.
It'd be a hell of a shot.
Right. I think it's just cortisone or something like that.
I don't know.
Because I kind of have a lot of problems with my knee, and when I was in football my senior year, we almost had to do. It's like a foot long. It's not really a foot long, but it's like the longest needle you've seen in your life, and they have to really like get in there.
It was like the drill from Armageddon,
right?
The nurse comes out, it's like that fucking big.
It was. I'm glad I did. It might have helped. I don't know. I might have to go do that, but I'm not about that.
No thanks. What else do we have? I don't really have anything else to talk about. You got any fun trivia? You want to do trivia?
Yeah, before we do that, IFC Films. This is an IFC?
Okay.
I didn't know that. I just think that's cool.
Usually they're good stuff. You can pick pretty much anything with the IFC Films logo on it, and I'll just do like a blind buy, and yeah, sure, I'll watch it.
For the longest time, I got IFC mixed up with... What is it? IFC mixed up with, like another one of those triple letter things, production studio things.
Yeah.
That's almost like, it was like Trauma or like Asylum, but smaller. And so like they do a bunch of like stupid films. And so when I saw IFC, like for a minute, my heart panicked because I was like, what am I remembering? But
isn't there like IFC Midnight?
Is that what it is?
Is that like a separate thing, like IFC Midnight?
It might be. It might be something like that, because I just remember, like...
You know what we need? We need to hire, like, a third person. Like,
I know.
On, like, Joe Rogan's... Joe Rogan's podcast, so they have, like, a third dude that, like, fucking Googles shit.
I need a Jamie.
Yeah.
We're taking applications. We're just going to call it a Jamie.
Sure.
We need a Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be awesome.
Uh-huh.
I don't have any money, though.
Because neither of us have any money, but I hate being like, sure, let me Google this on the podcast, because that's not thrilling for...
Me and my wife are really good cooks. Cook you some food.
Yeah. Hang out, watch some films.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do some trivia. I didn't talk about unprofessional. Usually I write it down. I didn't write.
You had the one about Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah,
that was interesting.
Yeah. Did I say that before we started?
Yeah, you said that before we started recording.
Yeah. Before Kevin Bacon was cast, they wanted Jean-Claude Van Damme as the bad guy. But according to James Gunn, like his too big personality, he was kind of flaky in and out.
Sure.
And he's like, I don't have time for this. And, Kevin Bacon just stepped in and killed it.
I think it's a better choice, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin Bacon is an actor. Like, he can chew up the scenery and give you a good performance. And Jean-Claude Van Damme is not an actor. That's not really what he does.
He's someone you watch kick people.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a different performance.
Yeah, I don't think the movie would have been near as good without Kevin Bacon in it. So
I think it would have been fine. I had more, but it ran away. No, I was saying, like, I still think it would have been fine without Kevin Bacon if it was, somebody not... If it was Van Damme, then it would have been a little different. But,
would they have had to fit in some martial arts?
Oh, I'm sure they would have.
Into it?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like, roundhouse kick?
I'm pretty sure that's in his contract.
Roundhouse kick someone's head off or something?
He would have had to do the splits. He would have had to show his butt, and he would have had to do a roundhouse.
What's that movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme on
Kickboxer.
the island? Have you seen that one?
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. No,
the
new one with, like, newer...
Jean-Claude Van Johnson?
Yeah, is that the name of it? Where he's, like, on an island?
The new Amazon show?
Yeah.
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 Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
I wonder if that's any good.
I don't know. I want to watch it, though.
Yeah,
it's got a couple episodes back when we were talking about Green Lantern casting. Oh my God, what's his name? My fan cast that I have on Facebook.
Dolph Lundgren?
No.
That's my go-to anytime you say fan casting.
I can't actually remember his name, but he's in that show. And he's doing really well. It's pretty exciting to see somebody start going through television and kind of climbing the ranks as you're following them on Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, you look that up. I have a quote that I found that I wanted to read from James Gunn about the similarities between this film and Kick-Ass. And so I thought that was a interesting quote here. He said, "It sucks on one hand, and then on the other hand, who gives a shit? There are 4,000 bank heist movies. Why can we can have 5 superhero without power movies? What does bum me out is people who pretend like Kick-Ass was the first superheroes without power movie." So I like that. I like his point that, like, hey, there are always going to be lots of bank heist movies or lots of this style of film. So just because, Super and Kick-Ass are similar doesn't mean they can't coexist and tell their own story and be separate from one another. Like, I agree. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like either film set out to copy one another. That's just what happened, that they got made so close to one another.
I can't find this dude's page. I feel terrible. I've been following him, and now, heat of the moment, brain fart, can't think of it.
I put it up on Twitter.
Yeah.
Afterward.
I'll have to share him on Twitter. He's really cool.
Yeah.
I like following him. Trivia, though, now that I just put that piece of stuff away. James Gunn originally wanted John C. Reilly to star instead of Rainn Wilson.
That would have been funny. I would have watched that. I like John C. Reilly.
He's alright. Yeah, James and Sean Gunn. I'm pretty sure in Guardians, Sean Gunn still had a mohawk thing, too.
Yeah.
He always looks like crap. James and Sean Gunn, Greg Henry, Nathan Fillion, and Michael Rooker would work again work again a few years later in Guardians of the Galaxy. And Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
They didn't put that on there.
Very cool, very cool. You should edit their trivia.
Yeah. That was funny, too, when Ellen Page keeps calling him Frank. Frank.
Oh,
Frank.
Stop using my name.
Stop saying that. What, Frank? Frank! What? My name! The number of times she says it is 47. She says Frank 47 times.
Frankly, that's a lot of times.
What?
Pun?
No, she says that. She said something about her name. She's like, yeah, don't make fun of it. What's your name? Frank. Well, frankly, that's kind of boring. And he's like, you just told me not to make fun of your name, and you're making fun of mine? Mm-hmm. That's funny. Whatever. And then just a lot of people who work together. The body count, though, is 19.
Wow. It's a hefty body count.
It seemed kind of low, I thought, for this.
Yeah.
I feel like more people died.
They do it in such a brutal fashion that it probably feels like more than what it actually is.
Yeah, I probably counted...
when you think about it, I mean, how many people do you think Jason kills in an average Friday the 13th film? Do you think it's 19?
No, it's like 4.
Yeah. Really...
Right, but you feel like...
It feels like more in the grander scheme of things.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, some of the later ones, I think they have him going through...
I probably counted Ellen Page's death as like 3. Just because it was so...
the whole side of her face fucking blown off.
It was fucking nuts. You want to do final close it up
Closing statements.
Oh, Rotten Tomatoes. Want to do some Rotten Tomatoes?
Well, I kind of know what the Rotten Tomatoes score is because I haven't intentionally looked.
But... All right. Well, the audience score is at 55%, so yeah, over half. And this is kind of surprised me. The critic score is 49%.
Yeah, I thought this would have been a movie that critics didn't like.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
But it's different enough from like other superhero films that I think a lot of critics respected that and kind of gave it the benefit of the doubt. I thought it would have been lower. I thought it would have been like in the 40s.
Yeah, maybe even 30s. I thought it would have been like high 30s. Mm-hmm. It was a lot higher than I expected, for sure. But yeah, I mean overall I enjoyed it. I was pleasantly and disturbingly surprised by it. It was like I said, it was nothing what I expected, and at the same time, it's like everything that I wanted. Kind of, it's like just shit you hadn't seen. Mm-hmm. You know, like Ellen Page raping Rainn Wilson. Like,
I always wonder how much do you think like some of the bigger critics when they review a movie, if you and I made Super, and it was exactly the way it was, would it be reviewed lower than because it's James Gunn, who was an up and coming writer director at the time. It was Rainn Wilson, hot off The Office, popular among a lot of people. Ellen Page really coming off what was this, Juno, and all the other stuff was...
Same year, Inception. Inception was the same year, right? 2010.
Yeah, 2010. Yeah. So you look at all those other factors, and do you wonder how much of that creeps into reviewing Super higher than what you would expect? Because I think so. I think that does factor into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
It's kind of like, I talked about it last week with the Crank brothers. I feel like you know, because they're those guys, Crank doesn't get so much love.
Do as well.
Yeah.
Or Skyline.
Right.
A great example.
Right.
Where...
Oh my god. That's funny that you mentioned Skyline. Eric Balfour. So before you came over, I was just cruising through Amazon, and the movie Can't Hardly Wait was on there. Ethan Embry, Jennifer Love Hewitt, and then, holy shit, Eric Balfour's in it as like a hippie. Jason Segel's first movie.
Okay.
Seth Green. Like, there's like 20 actors on there that you recognize, and now they're all stars.
All famous. I love them. I love that. That's fun to go back and look at.
Holy shit. Jerry O'Connell comes in for a cameo. There's just a ton of people. And I didn't even recognize Eric Balfour. Like, he had big fro curls and stuff.
He's cool. I like him as an actor.
Yeah.
I would like to see him in more stuff.
Yeah, Eric Balfour. Because I watched it, I remember seeing it, and I like it more than like American Pie and stuff, like, you know, all those high school movies that came out between like 98 and 2002. Like, Can't Hardly Wait is probably my favorite.
I was just thinking about American Pie the other day, because it's been since I was probably in high school since I last seen it. I wonder if it holds up. I wonder if you watch it and you go, oh, that's still funny, or if it's just...
I think it's still funny.
Terribly dated.
No, I think it's still funny.
You think?
For sure.
I'm
pretty sure I recently watched it.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Did you watch the newest one, the Reunion, American Reunion? That's good stuff, too.
I quit giving a shit after part 2. I'm sorry. I mean, like, I loved the first one. I remember loving the first one, and the second one was like, yeah, sure, more of the same. And then it was American Wedding. And then they started going into...
That's when they went off the road.
Because that was when I worked at the video store.
Bandcamp.
When it was like once a month we were getting straight to DVD. American Pie, Bandcamp, and American Pie, American... What did you just say?
Naked Mile.
Yeah.
Book of Love. All that shit.
All that shit.
The OG cast, though, like the first... The original trilogy with 1, 2, and Wedding.
Yeah.
And then they kind of go off the rails, but then American Reunion in like 2012, I think, or 2013... brought them all back together. It's fucking great. I love that. I don't know. It's one of those...
I kind of want to...
Makes me feel good.
I want to go back and write about those movies or do a podcast about it or something. I don't know if anyone would be interested. At least the first 3. I don't know. I'm just spitballing at this point. But...
Well, we've been doing an hour. What do you guys think? Do some final thoughts on. We need to talk about Super. let's close up on Super.
Okay.
You have any final thoughts or anything about
Yeah, I
Super?
do. I like the movie quite a bit. I think that it's a funny, interesting take on the superhero genre. I thought that Rainn Wilson is enjoyable. Ellen Page, it's a good performance from her. I think that it's one of my favorite performances from her, honestly.
Yeah.
I liked it quite a bit. I just think that it's different and it's enjoyable. And if you're
fucking different,
yeah, and if you're a fan of Guardians of the Galaxy and what else has James Gunn done, you should watch this movie and then be fucking amazed that Marvel was like, yeah, that guy. Here's a huge budget. Come on in and do a film for. Like, how did? God bless whoever thought that was a good idea.
I want to be a fly on the wall in that meeting. So, you know how you did tentacle porn and pushed over people in wheelchairs and...
We're fucking cracking people upside the head with...
We want you in our Marvel universe.
Yeah.
What? That's just got to be like a... Oh shit moment. What the fuck? How's that happen? Hey, remember when you had Ellen Page rape Rainn Wilson? Yeah, how about this family-friendly Guardians of the Galaxy?
Don't do that for us in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
But, I mean, when you think...
make that happen.
Guardians of the Galaxy does have those moments where you're like, did they just do that? My favorite is, like, when Chris Pratt's, holding his hand and...
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know how this works. It's like, how did that get in there? But I love it. I would suggest watching it, probably not with small children. And be prepared. If you haven't seen it, I'm telling you, prepare yourself to see some weird shit.
I feel like you'll know early on if you're on board with what this film is.
That's why I want to watch it now, knowing what it's about.
Yeah.
Because, the first time I watched it, I was just, in complete shock. I had no idea what was going on, or, I didn't realize that it was so dark and there's tentacle porn. I think there's just weird shit. But there's a lot of great actors in it. Like I said, Greg Henry. I love Greg Henry. I want him in more stuff. Kevin Bacon, Liv Tyler, all of them. Mm-hmm. They all do great. And, I really enjoyed it. We ran out of time. So, thank you guys for listening. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter at Shut Up I Like This. Check out the new website, pantheonnetwork.com. We have all our episodes up there. We're going to be putting all the videos. You can find the videos on YouTube, Shut Up I Like This. And we have a Patreon account that you can subscribe to. It's on the website. Just go over to, become a patron and do all that stuff. And thank you guys for listening. Hope you enjoyed our Super episode. And Kyle, you got anything?
Send us feedback. Send us movies that you want us to talk about. I think that would be a lot of fun. I wanna know what the people want to hear us discuss.
Yeah, for sure. That you can email us at suiltmailbox@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. I think that's gonna do it for this episode. It was a lot of fun. Movie I hadn't seen before, and that's always one of the more fun things to do is watch a movie you haven't seen yet. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next week. We have Mindhunters.
Oh,
Christian Slater and LL, and
that's a good poll. That's one that I don't feel like near enough people have seen.
Yeah, Mindhunters is cool.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next week for Mindhunters.